From the middle of the Pacific Ocean, it's high noon and high time that you tuned into the Spirit of Sports, hosted by Brother Richie. The Spirit of Sports is the flagship of the Not Pods family. Not Pods complete archive can be found at Not Pods on YouTube. And now for our host, Brother Richie.
And thank you for joining me, people. This is Brother Richie coming at you live from the middle of the Pacific Ocean twice a week, keeping you on your toes. I didn't get in my Saturday show because birthday party, NFL football, etc. But I will get you 2 shows a week. Thank you for joining me. In today's show, I'm going to preview the championship weekend, recap lightly divisional round, talk why I believe there are 12 teams with coaching concerns, head coaching concerns, 12 of them. And a conspiracy theory lifts its ugly head once again. Talk about that quite a bit. That's a little bit of preview. This is Sunday. I don't do shows on Sunday much. This is Sunday, January 21st. Divisional round is done. We have a Final Four in the NFL next Sunday. It is Detroit going into San Francisco and Kansas City. Never say die. Kansas City Chiefs heading into Baltimore for an exciting round of NFL. Divisional weekend. I'm going to get into this a lot more on Tuesday on my backseat quarterback show, but 4 games, 3 of them very competitive. Baltimore smoked Houston, 10 all in the first half. I'm going to get into this a little bit. Why are offensive coordinators interviewing for head coaches' jobs like a night or 2 before the biggest game of their career? I know the coaching cycle, and you got to get on it, and you got to get your schemes established. But it makes no sense to me. Bobby Slowick had 3 or 4 interviews, and he puts up 10 points for Houston. It would seem to me, if I'm the head coach, I want 100% of your focus, 100% of your energy, your mental prowess, and your emotion on this one game. It's do or die. It's win or take all. This is the playoffs. And you're going to go interview on the phone or in person for what? Hour or 2? That hour or 2 of waking time that could be developing a scheme and a new play and motivation factors, clock management and game management, blows me away. What? Cunningham, I think. Or no, Rob Johnson, Detroit offensive coordinator. They say win or lose, he has a job interview after the game. It was earlier today. So you're done with the game, and you're going to go interview for an NFL coaching job when you have a game next week. I don't like it. So yeah, Houston puts up 10 points, 10 all in the first half. Baltimore smokes them in the second half. I got plenty of issues with Houston not just snapping the ball. Call a play, get up and run the play and say set high. It's the most broken record that I do. And I could call it the broken record segment next year. Backseat quarterback, broken records, same old shit. Shall we get into that? I will on Tuesday. San Fran, Green Bay, the better team lost. Oh, by the way, in case you didn't hear, as of about 9 days ago, I am officially a Green Bay Packer fan. I haven't had a team since Vegas moved to Vegas. since the Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas traders moved away, moved for the third time, and just abandoned the most loyal fan base for the second time in 40 years. And I can't abide by that. And Mark Davis, maybe if you got a decent haircut, but so poorly run and such a shit show. I quit the Raiders, and I made that clear. And I found a new team. I adopted them just as I was on the phone with Mike last week. I guess on Tuesday. I guess I've been a Green Bay fan for about a week. I'm going to tell you, I know that I am because I watched that game when Jordan Love had the best game of his season, damn near, until about 3 minutes left. And then he couldn't hit an open guy and threw a terrible interception. And I told you about that. The conspiracy theory raised an ugly, ugly head today. I don't know if this is real. I'm going to show this at the end. We're going to talk about this. But there was a snafu on a news station that you're not going to believe. I don't believe it. I think almost it has to be a prank, but we'll talk about that in depth. But yeah, if that's the case, Jordan Love went from Superman to Kryptonite in the last 4 minutes of the game. I don't understand. So heartbreaking loss. Oh, but to get back to my point, how I knew that I am a Green Bay fan, and it just felt so great, is that I was yelling at the TV and cussing and saying, what the F, and what the F are we doing, and caring so much about this team. It felt like a Civil War game. And that was a really nice feeling. No headphones today. It was a really nice feeling to have a team that you love again. You know, I'm kind of starting to see a lady too, and it's kind of the same feeling, this brand new freshness and butterflies in the stomach and new relationships, and it's exciting and fresh. So go Pack, go. Mike, don't play. I'm going to need a Jordan Love jersey, bro. I need it from the stadium. I'll pay you when you get here. I'm going to call you. So, yeah, 24-21 San Fran. Couple missed calls, couple missed receivers that could have kept drives alive, and a terrible interception at the end. Growing pains for Jordan Love, but the future looks bright. Chicago Bears fans, the dead ones are rolling over in their graves, and the alive ones are rolling around in their bathtub, crying. Because Green Bay just went and did it again, it looks like to me. Tampa at Detroit. So those were both Saturday. This is Sunday evening. I didn't get my Saturday showing, but I'm 2 shows a week, guaranteed. Tuesday at high noon, and then on the weekend, depending. Tampa went into Detroit, played them tough, down 14. Apparently this is the new thing, and I just don't understand. I don't like my t-shirt today. I'm going to zip up. Gotta get rid of that thing. It's a live like side, but they get all like that. Remember the Michael Jordan? Looks like he has bacon around his neck. I don't know, always bugs me. Okay. Yeah, Tampa goes into Detroit. Baker played pretty well. We'll get into all the numbers and backseat quarterback tomorrow. Baker played pretty well. This is gonna bug me. There's these things called analytics. It's not analytic. It's not analytic. It's dumbass. So it's dumb analytics. Apparently, if you're down 14 points and you score a touchdown to put it within 8, just the new rule is you go for 2, which just makes no effing sense to me. If you want to do that, go for 2 to win the game. Because kick the extra point, and then if you want to go for 2 at a time, I don't know. It's just kick the extra point, and then go kick another extra point, and then you go to overtime, or go for 2 at the end. It's irritating. Somehow, where did they get these analytics? AI. And speaking of, I got an issue with AI. Remember there was a movie called I, Robot? and computers got smart enough and they didn't need humans anymore, and they just decided to kill all the humans and just recreate themselves, procreate. And then we name a company iRobot, and they do robots and like the little guy that runs around and does your floor, the IVAC, and they call the company iRobot. And 10 years before, there was a movie with Will Smith that robots take over the world. And it kind of seems like it's coming to that in a way. And that doesn't seem a little bit weird. So AI, is that where they're getting these analytics? Where is this book? I want to see the book. That the coach say, oh, they told me the book said go for it. I don't know. Analytics, just an excuse for shitty ass coaching. Shitty ass coaching. And it's crap. Whole thing's crap. I don't care how many AI 10,000s of simulations of games you do. It can't tell that you're dominating the line of scrimmage or you're getting blown off the line of scrimmage. You got 3 guys injured, or your quarterback's struggling, or you don't have protection today, or your running game's on or off, or injuries, or the other team's injuries. There's hundreds of variables that AI, I don't care. It's a game-by-game situation, and just because some computer ran 10,000 games and do this at this moment doesn't mean shit. Kick the effing extra point, kick the effing field goal here and there. Effing irritating. Then Daniel Carlson's brother, Olaf or some shit, rookie kicker, sucks all year. Comes in, missed that field goal with 3 minutes left, which means Green Bay gets the better, or San Fran gets better field position. And a touchdown puts them ahead. 4-point game. Jordan Love missed a couple open passes. I mean, if it's supposed to be Baltimore, San Fran in the Super Bowl, as I'm going to show you at the end of this show, this is called a tease. I got something to show you guys at the end of this show. It's going to blow your mind. But if it's supposed to be a Baltimore, San Francisco World Series, then the last 5 minutes of the game of Jordan Love makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. But then Carlson missed the field goal. And a friend of mine, Chris Spence, he's going to call in soon. He's a Cowboy fan. We're going to talk about coaching changes, coaches coming up. I think there's 12 teams that have big coaching question marks. But his wife is a Packer fan. And she told me that she heard Matt LaFleur has said in an interview that every time the kicker, Carlson, goes on the field, he prays. Your kicker goes on the field, you pray. Does that mean maybe that kicker should not be on your team? And I know, don't put it in the hands of the kicker. You got to play better. You can't put it down 2 or 3 points at the end of the game. But teams are evenly matched, and teams play each other tough, and a lot of games come down to a kicker. And I know, you can't blame the kicker. It's not his fault, but you know what? The kicker has one effing job. The kicker doesn't have to block. The kicker doesn't have to tackle, doesn't have to run wind sprints, doesn't have to catch the ball, doesn't have to get hit, doesn't have to throw the ball. The kicker has one effing job. One. And it's to be good when your team needs it. So 2 games came down to last-minute field goals. And then the poor Buffalo Bills. How are you going to explain this one? For the whole offseason, man, we just can't beat KC, I guess. I don't know. Can't beat KC. 27-24. Back and forth. Great game. Back and forth game, but struggles in the red zone. I guess 2 field goals close to the red zone. You get 1 touchdown there. Missed field goal. 400 yards, time of possession. think they dominated time of possession. Yeah, 37 minutes. Casey had the ball 23 minutes. Real close in total yards. Casey had one more turnover. Comes down to finishing, people. And the Chiefs move on. We'll talk about all that on Tuesday, backseat quarterback. But why are guys interviewing for coaching jobs when they're the offensive or defensive coordinator of a playoff team? That every ounce of energy, every waking moment should be on that next game. And maybe if you want to look forward a little bit and you're pretty confident, you maybe want to game plan a little bit for Baltimore is one thing. I don't want my guy on the phone or in an office of another team for 1, 2, 3 hours. They go 7, 8 hour interviews sometimes, these guys. No, can't do it, bro. 100% of your emotion, creativity, thoughts should be on Saturday or Sunday, period. Not thoughts of head coaching another team. That can wait 2 more weeks. I don't care. You know, that culture change can wait for 2 more weeks. It's not like there's a draft, not like you have to go recruit. I mean, not like there's a recruiting season. There's a draft, and it's at the end of April. This is mid-January. That's February, March. That's 2.5 months. You can put off hiring a coach if he's still in the playoffs. You can put off, interviewing a coach that's still in the playoffs. Interview all the other guys that are booted out of the playoffs. You can wait till February to interview my guy. Don't understand it. So let's go through this. And then I'm going to get into a heavy conspiracy. And I don't know if it's made up. I don't know if it's a screen grab and fishing and all that. Riz or Raz or Joshin or got hat, big cap, whatever the kids are saying. But I got a heavy one to show you in about 10 minutes. I talk a lot about Vegas and overturning calls. Incontrovertible evidence is something I talk about all year long. Networks, Vegas, mob even. You won't believe this one. And if it's true, it's... And I'm sure maybe a lot of you have seen it. A friend of mine just sent it to me this morning, and I said, oh my goodness. And if I had my website, this would be on the front page. Speaking of the spirit of sports, at notpods.com, Brother Richie, you know where I'm at. Notpods.com coming soon. I've just put it out there. Any high school, young college kids, or computer geniuses that want to set up a cool website and be on the ground floor of something amazing, hit me up. 12 teams. They got head coaching issues. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 of these 12 teams fired their head coach. There's been a couple new ones hired. I got 7 more for you. I got 7 more teams that if they made a coaching change, it wouldn't surprise me. I might even be all for it. And a couple of these teams are going to surprise you, I believe, but not me. Some stuff is inexcusable. And I tell you, Miami Dolphins may or may not be on that list. Hint, they are. I know the wonderkin, Mike McDaniel, wonderkin and, offensive guru, genius, running back facilitator, running game coach, the Niners. Inexcusable usage of Tua and the running game down the stretch. I can't find any excuse for not running the effing ball in the situations that he had in must-win games, and be throwing the ball 40 times a game and not handing out to your two-headed monster, even one-headed monster. Achane. And then when 31 came back to Mostert and Achane in the playoff game, week 18. So let's start with the 5 coaching openings. Atlanta. It's weird to me. Double B. Bill doesn't want to go out west, apparently. So, there's 13. I don't have the Chargers in there. Doesn't want to go out west to LA. Carolina probably doesn't want to go out west to Seattle. Tennessee just fired a New England guy. Washington, they got some talent. They got a little bit of a defense left, don't they? New ownership. They'll spend the money. They could make a big splash, go for Caleb Williams. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams that are still need a coach, and 7 others. So Atlanta, it's pointing toward Bill Belichick. I just say good luck. I think the guy has lost his touch with the modern football player, lost his touch with modern offense, drafting. So, but it's looking that way. Carolina have interviewed 8 guys, and who knows. But David Tepper, he's a very patient man in his other businesses. Ask anybody that works for him. Very patient man. Just not with fans and coaches. Still can't believe he threw a effing martini on a guy from the owner's box into the stands. The guys that's paying your wages. I guess you don't really need fans. You could probably afford to pay all your players in an empty stadium. I don't know. So Carolina, good luck with that. Seattle, not sure where it's at. Not sure getting rid of Pete Carroll was the right idea. Tennessee. Did they bring in Harbaugh? Not sure. No. Well, just when they hire him because every team has looked at 6 or 8 guys. There's a couple of OCs I never heard of. I could have been more prepared for this. And the Chargers, Harbaugh's looking at the Chargers. Belichick to Atlanta. Okay. 1, 2, 3. There's 6 teams. Seattle, whatever they do. Tennessee, whatever they do. Antonio Pierce, I think, could hire. Players coach, dynamic, change that culture, I believe. They led the league in points allowed, defense, since he became head coach in week 8 or 9. So, okay, I don't mind that. Gerard Mayo, groomed for the job. Minority coach in New England, stuffy, what's it called? Good old boy club. Don't mind it. Atlanta, LA, looking pretty set. Carolina, Seattle, Tennessee, Washington, good luck. I got some for you. They're probably not getting fired, but I got big issues. Start with Matt Eberflus, defensive coach with a shitty defense. It's kind of like olive on a toothpick head in LA, Brandon Staley. You fire a bunch of offensive guys, coaches, but you keep that guy. And, I think Justin Fields looked, functionable. Now I'm sure they're going to go, so you want to keep this defensive-minded coach. And, they're looking at Kingsbury as OC. Now that I could see because he turned Kyler into a pretty good quarterback. So if they have him, that might work. But you want to risk your defensive head coach with one of the most prolific quarterbacks that come out of college in a long time. So for some reason, the Bears didn't even consider it, but they fired half their coaching staff. But they're going to keep Eberflus. It's like 10 and 20 in 2 seasons. I don't know. Dallas. There's no effing way that I'm running back the same shit that I saw last year. I don't care if you go 17-0. Unless that's what you care about, Jerry, and you lie and you think you talk about Super Bowl, but if you care about regular season, sure, the guy's great. If you're serious about winning a Super Bowl, how do you go back to that fan base and say, we're keeping the same guys? After the quote, well, that play takes 15 seconds in practice. Well, we had 17 seconds, so I figured, who needs 2 seconds of error when Dak ran pretty much a quarterback draw with 17 seconds left, or 15. And if it was 15, they said, it takes 13 seconds in practice. I stick by my call. And then, I guess the first year you don't make the playoffs. And then you run quarterback and the quarterback draw. And then the next year, last play and down 3 or 4 or 7, and you have your running back with no offensive lineman snap the ball to Dak, and then he completes a 12-yard pass and the game's over. Okay. And maybe they try to do the Stanford ban. I don't know. And then this year, just get thoroughly ass kickings at home. And you're going to bring that shit back. Oh, he has another year on his contract. Big effing deal. You pay him. Oh, he's great regular season. Big effing deal. Oh, he had 1 Super Bowl already. Maybe he should have had 2 or 3 or 4 when you have Aaron Rodgers. No excuses. I know my Dallas fan. I wish he could call in, bro. I asked him to. We're going to talk on Tuesday. And I'm going to tell me how you really feel. Because it is crap. Hate to say it. Miami can't win against good teams. And the imbalance of the play calling when you have Tua Tagovailoa, Wee Man Jr. down there as your quarterback, throwing 40 times and running the ball 15. With a lead, one game with a halftime lead, never down more than 7. You only threw the ball 3 times in the whole second half with a lead and a tie game mostly. And then 30 below 0, and you're throwing the ball 40 times and running it 15 times. And what in the entire F are we doing here? What the F are we doing here? So to me, kind of like Brandon Staley, 27-0 blown halftime lead in the playoffs. Get your own plane home. You're done right there. You run guys back when the fan base has no belief in them, and you talk yourself into believing in them. And I doubled down. God promise you. What can I do? I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to think of something. Something to do. Right. I'm going to think of something to do if Dallas goes to or wins Super Bowl in 24. Think of something to do. I'll fly to Dallas and eat my underwear. Or I'll fly to Dallas and eat some crow. Something. I'll go to Dallas, fly to the parade in Dallas and blank. If the Cowboys win a Super Bowl next year with Mike McCarthy, I will fly to Dallas and blank, coming soon. So yeah, there's some inexcusable stuff. And sure, Mike McDaniel, Josh McDaniels, which one is it, dude? Why you gotta be that way? Mike McDaniel, yeah. Josh McDaniels. Josh has an S, okay. Mike McDaniel. Let's check it out. Here's my issues. Beat the Chargers, New England, Denver. Lost to Buffalo. Lost to Philly. Lost to KC. Inexcusable loss that cost them home field advantage to Tennessee. Lost to Baltimore and Buffalo and Kansas City. Beat the Chargers, New England, Denver, Giants, Carolina, New England, Vegas, Jets, Washington, Jets. Beat Dallas. One decently quality win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses to the quality teams, and you beat Dallas. And the rest is the Patriots of the world and the Jets of the world and the Commanders of the world. And I think it was the same last year. And in the most critical situations, the play calling is just, it's baffling. I'd be furious. I talked about it last week. I can look it up again. I got the notes right here. What are we doing, people? What in the F are we doing? Threw the ball 3 times in the second half against Buffalo when you're up 7.5. And you ran the ball for 60 yards in the first half, and H.N. running through that defense. Why aren't you on the ball in the second half saying set hut? H.N.'s last carry is with 14 minutes left in the game, in a tie game. And he did it 2 weeks in a row. Moving on. Sean McDermott, hear me out. No, don't hear me out. If you don't want to hear me out, that guy's, I'm thinking about it right now. Is it still Ralph Wilson family? I know he passed, whoever. Might be time, bro. Defensive coach. Not a great defense. And took all 5 of his years to finally figure out the running game. And they fired the OC and brought in Joe Brady. Makes no sense, people. I would look long and hard. If I'm McDermott in the mirror, and if I'm the ownership of the Bills, I would look long and hard at McDermott as he looks himself in the mirror, like one of those 3-way, and you see in the back, and then it goes boop, 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 when you put the 2 mirrors like that. That's the ownership, and that's me wondering what's up. Three of the last 4 years, KC beat you. You lost your last two playoff games at home. With the defensive coach, they don't work, bro. D'Amico Ryan's decent. New York Jets defensive coach. I guess he gets a pass because Aaron went down, but not figuring out a quarterback situation. Not bringing in Flacco. Not even bringing in Wentz. Somebody. And not progressing with Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson could be manageable if you use him right. I think you can make any quarterback manageable, functional. You can make any quarterback functional if you have a decent scheme, even if your O-line sucks. Set high, 3-step drops, screens, slants. A couple more trick plays than normal. Make them think it's coming. Run the fly sweep option, or run pass option with fly sweep and handoff, and then throw. Keep them guessing. Not just 7-step drop. Oh, sack, shitty line. Oh, sorry, well, our quarterback got hurt, so No, I don't know. Philly. Team quit on your head coach, bro. Team quit on your head coach. Jeffrey Lurie, do you get him? I know you have your exit interviews. Do you sit him down and just say, what the F, bro? Why should I bring you back here? And you lost both your coordinators. You were 10-1. And it's getting to, I heard a little more news on the Matt Patricia thing when they put him at OC, and he just wanted to change the whole scheme and trying to coach up a brand new scheme halfway, 2/3 of the way through the season. That's the shit that takes a month of camp. That guy was an idiot in Detroit too. So arrogant. Just the arrogance to think that you can just change the whole scheme. Blows my mind, bro. I got one more. I think the fans of this town are getting a little fed up. I wouldn't do this. I love this guy, Mike Tomlin. But, sneakily, he hasn't won a playoff game since 2017. So, I'm just going to end with that. I love him. Never had a losing season. They don't fire coaches. Talk about stability and culture. You have 3 head coaches in 60 years. That's pretty damn good. And he is a defensive-minded guy. Their offense really struggled until they got rid of Matt Canada. Quarterback issues, all that. I mean, you could go a new direction, but that's tough. But I'm going to tell you. Something to think about. So 4 or 5 6 surprise teams that I think have decent size to huge coaching issues, besides the ones that are open. I got the Bills. Could think about it. The Bears kept them, I'm not sure. Dallas, Philly, the Jets, Miami. And I do hate to say, but I would have to look at that. And Pittsburgh. And it's easy to say, just fire the coach. And quite often it doesn't work out. But this is an iconic head coaching class of available coaches. You got Jim Harbaugh wants to come and win a Super Bowl, and he's been close, and he wins everywhere. You got the greatest of all time, Bill Belichick, whether he's lost a step, out of touch, still. You have Pete Carroll, possibly, and then you have Mike Vrabel. So if you're thinking about it, and if it's a question, this might be the year that you go a little extra. To me, I'm going to show you this. I don't know. This is, I guess, I'll let the guy explain it. But apparently it's in Memphis, and it's a local news program. And the bottom third, the little, the script across the bottom, like Sports Center has, injury reports, scores, all that. Just read the bottom third on this.
Man, the NFL just got caught slipping. The NFL is slipping, all right? My buddy just sent this to me. He lives in the Memphis area. This is a local news station, okay? Reba McEntire, Usher, Post Malone are slated to perform at the Super Bowl. But look what it says. At San Francisco 49ers and Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl matchup on February 11th. Do we look dumb to you? I mean, honestly. By the way, shout out to my boy Dantry. He just released a song called 90s Bills as well. It's on Spotify. It's pretty sick. But NFL. We started off by seeing the purple and the red, right? And that theory has just been circulating around social media from the beginning of the season. And then you throw that in our face. You have local news stations already saying the 49ers and Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl going into it. Man, I'll tell you what, if this Super Bowl does happen, we got to start questioning some things right now, ladies and gents. We got to start questioning some things, sincerely.
Do you think so? You know, I bring it up a lot. I don't think Vegas did that good this year because a lot of the teams that a lot of the money was on won. But I know that Dallas game, I think they made it all back. $55 million the sportsbook took in on Dallas, especially on the money line. It seemed like a no-brainer at home. Haven't lost for 16 straight games, averaged 40 points a game at home, get blown out. But there's too many times when, upon further review, Vegas says incomplete pass. That is not incontrovertible evidence. I'm sorry. Beyond a doubt. Change the rule or change the, the word I'm looking for. Come on, Tink. But if that is real and that's what's happening, and you're a gambler, you know what? You better hope you're on Vegas' side. And if it really is pro wrestling, and you don't tell a pro wrestler that it's faked, but it might be pre-programmed. And there's no way that this football is fake because these guys are kicking each other's ass and it's a manly game and it's tough. But if the winners and losers are preconceived, and if they don't even give a shit and just slipping like that and just, oh, well, you're the fans, you're still going to watch. What are you going to do about it? If that's their attitude, do we do something about it? I remember the 94 baseball strike, and, baseball was still damn popular back in the mid-90s. And there was a strike. There was no World Series in 1994 for those of you that forget, because it was millionaires and billionaires fighting over money. And I don't give a shit what side you want to take. It's wrong, and it's effed up. And there's no World Series. And I always thought if there was a way that the fans could just get back, boycott that game. August 19th, I think it was, 1994, they played their last game. They packed up their bats and balls and went home. And they, came back. There was a strike in 81. But it lasted 60 some days, July through August, and they came back and played the second half of the season, whatever. Or, June through July, 30 days, 40. I remember the fans brought whistles and I was saying, just don't do this to us again. Don't do this to us again, please. And what? 81, 13 years later, here we are. Is there a way for fans to revolt? But you boycott that game, I think of all the beer vendors and the peanut salesmen and the bartenders. And, you're just hurting those people. But these guys the guys that are assholes and, treat you like a dog you shouldn't be approaching a guy at dinner. But if you're a major sport athlete that makes 6 or 7 or 8 digits in your career, you can take the time to be with the fans a little bit or graciously blow them off. not be a dick. Because without us, you don't got shit. If we find out the NFL is rigged as it's looking to be, what can we do? I'll still love it. Just hope you're on the right side. But I'll know it's a hoax. But I'll still bet and I'll still play fantasy. You just gotta hope, I guess it's the same coin toss as if they were playing for real. But it would be a little bit heartbreaking. I'm not gonna say devastating, but a little bit heartbreaking. So there we have it. Telling you right now, if the Cowboys win the Super Bowl in 2024 season, I will fly to the parade in Dallas and blank. Maybe I'll leave it up to any Cowboy fans. I'm going to start getting more call-ins going. I should just write my number, 808-635-0774. Give me a call. If you think I'm a dumbass, you can tell me, and I might not disagree with you. If you got a stellar argument, I'm wrong a lot, but I'm the voice of the fan. I'm telling the truth, what I believe to be the truth, and mostly factual. So as we close another show, let's just head out east again because it's just so beautiful. I've never been, but there's something about it. This is Brother Richie coming at you live from the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I will see you Tuesday. This is Sunday night. A couple days. We'll dig deep. We'll dig deep into divisional weekend NFL. We'll talk conspiracy theory. We'll preview championship weekend and start feeling sad that the NFL is almost over. Then we can talk Beaver basketball. Okay. Aloha and Akuiho.